Well, lastly, and I'm sure this is a question you're asked quite a bit, things are finally starting to open up again after COVID, people going back to work. If you don't mind, talk a little bit about your experience at CNG and what we've learned from the past year and what our takeaways will be moving forward.
Yeah, so for me in particular, starting at a company when no one's allowed to go into the office was a new one for me, right? And it actually gave me a lot of empathy because how many people have had to do that this past year? I mean, literally just starting at a company and your first day is like a thing, right? You want to go to the office, you want to meet people and all that. So I had to do all that virtually. So that was different. And then just like any business, especially when you have a retail piece to your business, you got people, and there's a call center aspect, right? You got people coming and going every week, right? Mm-hmm. So that was one thing that luckily again, I came in through the middle of this, but the organization really did a good job of getting people to work remote very quickly. And you hear a lot of stories about how people rallied and got to remote working fairly quickly. As a side note, it also kind of points to if you really have to do something quick, you can. Right. But when people lay out these big long projects and all the stuff you got to do, if you really need to get something done, you can rally and go get it done a little quicker. But that's an aside. But the other thing that's actually more interesting to me now as offices, we call it return to the office. A lot of people say return to work, and we always say we've all been working this whole time, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Like so when you think about the return to the office, it's actually been shocking to me to some of the way different companies are approaching that. So states or the communities in which the rules are loosening, there are some, even in our market, that are saying, hey, after the 4th of July weekend, everybody 5 days a week back in the office, just like you did before the pandemic. And I'm like, I just look at that, and it almost, I hate to say it almost feels like tone deaf to what's been going on for the last year. I feel really fortunate that we as a leadership team sat down, really thought about it. We looked at the productivity we had. We had no drop in productivity. We probably saw an increase based on what I've seen. We've got all the collaboration tools you'd ever want to do. Doesn't replace the ability to get together in person from time to time, which we will do. But my staff, almost everybody short of some folks that need to be in the office for help desk or, physical support in a building or something like that, are going to be fully remote. And they'll come in every week, maybe for a staff meeting, maybe every couple weeks as we do sprint planning and refinement sessions, because you want to have that in person. It's nice to do that. But we're not, in my area, it's going to be few and far between. Anybody's going to have to feel like they come into the office. And we've proven we can work just fine that way. And the other thing it does is it has opened up where we used to be pretty Cincinnati centric to our hiring thoughts. Mm-hmm. Now, given all the states we operate in, our HR is comfortable with, they understand the payroll law, all the rules. We got 20 plus states we can recruit from going forward, and they don't have to move, so that we can find the best talent in any of the places that we're comfortable having employees work from. And so I feel like we're in a great position going forward.
That's great. We talk to more and more customers that have come to the same realization. And also, most of our customers have a newfound appreciation for the IT staff when they're able to, allow everybody to work from home so nimbly and unexpectedly. And so I think some good key learnings.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Chris, I noticed you have one team on your chest there. What does that signify?
Yes, yeah. So, thanks for asking. I wore it specifically for this session so I could talk about it. As I mentioned, we brought CNG more holistically together, where we had our access and our lending was different than our leasing and rent to own space. And so as we brought everybody together, with the whole focus and what they're rallying around is one team, right? Bringing really two cultures together so that 1 + 1 = 3 is the whole concept behind it. So this is sort of a visual representation of that. And I'm actually part of a steering committee of our leadership that's working through all the pieces you think about bringing one team to life, right? It's one thing to say you have one team, here's what our culture is. You know, you can talk mission, vision all day, but if you don't find ways to bring it to life, then it's really not taking hold with everybody. So that's what this represents. And I'm really excited about how we think about culturally getting us all the best of what we do. We've been doing separately for years and bringing it to one team.
I think that's awesome. I'm a big believer in have everybody aligned in the same singular vision and strategy. And I think it makes a difference for the employees too. So I think that's great.
Yeah, me too.
Well, hopefully this wasn't too painful. I really appreciate your time today, Chris. I enjoyed learning more about you and CNG. And if anyone would like to see additional interviews, please visit comspark.tech and you'll find them there. So thanks, Chris.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Appreciate your time.